describe the approach of the higher echelons, if you like, of the Russian government society as bullish towards sanctions. So we heard President Putin's spokesman yesterday asked about President Biden's TV announcements of sanctions. He said, well, I didn't watch it. Just in the past hour, the woman who runs today has tweeted, I have my tissues ready to cry when they sanction me. So that's the overt attitude. We talked yesterday, Joe, about the potential impact of sanctions. Someone earlier just said, President Biden doesn't have the best hand. I think that is the case. Have limited impact. Let me give you an example of why Sergei Narishkin, who is the head of President Putin's Foreign Intelligence Service, the SVR. There's a lot of talk continuing here in Moscow of something that happened at the Security Council, where President Putin, keep in mind, Sergei Narishkin is right inside President Putin's inner circle, one of the few seems to be around him who can advise him. And on national television, President Putin interrupted Narishkin and then sit down again. And that treatment of someone who's very senior and very close to him, I think, gives people here, gives you insight into President Putin's approach to what's going on, including the Trump. One focus, of course, the Trump administration about that, and that's China. What is China's attitude towards sanctions? Now we know that
Morning, Jack. Good morning.
Well, can we start, Tom?
We absolutely can, Jack.
I don't have any audio from anyone.
You can't hear us.
Good morning.
We can hear it. Yeah.
Are you muted, Tom? I'm not.
I am not muted either.
I'll call Jack. Let me call him.
Okay.
Yeah,
We can hear you, Jack, but
right. I don't know what's going on. I can try, see if that helps.
Jack's gonna log off and log back in, see if that helps.
It couldn't be something as simple as maybe he turned off the volume on his PC for some reason. You know, I turn mine down from time to time.
Well, we'll have him check when he gets back on, I guess.
Says connecting to audio and he's muted. So can you hear us now? You're muted.
I'm
I can
here.
hear you.
Can anybody,
Yeah,
We can
you
hear
us?
you.
see if I can hear you?
I am speaking. Can you hear me at all?
No dice. Tom, I'll run over to your office. It'll take 10 minutes.
Okay.
I don't see another way around this.
Would you?
Check the volume on your PC.
Yeah, I gotta
He
call.
can't hear us.
I'm gonna call.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I would do first is check the volume.
I just had to restart my computer. I couldn't
no,
hear
it's
anybody.
full. I was thinking, I mean, I can either try to leave my phone on speaker so I can hear you. I won't be able to hear anybody else, but
Yeah, you could,
yeah.
I think suggesting he
All
dial
right,
in
let me try that.
to the meeting is the best
on.
idea. But he can keep up his video
yeah.
and his audio at the same time.
Yeah, Jack's gonna dial in on the phone. His volume is turned up, so.
Six, five, six, eight, six. Okay, everybody, I think I'm here. Can
Yeah.
people hear me?
Yep,
Yes,
I can hear you, Jack.
we have always been able to hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out if I can hear you. I got to mute.
Okay. If you mute, we can't, no, this is not working out.
Oh, well, if he should mute the computer, but not his phone. He's probably mute, I don't, is he muted on the phone?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
hold on.
muted on the phone too. He's muted on both.
Yeah,
Can I make a suggestion? Have Jack restart his computer.
he did that.
Oh,
Oh,
he did? Oh. I had to do mine and I couldn't hear anybody and had no volume.
Jack, if you look at the bottom left of your screen, there's a little microphone icon there. And next to it, there's an up arrow. If you click on that, it controls the sound functions, and you can see if you can try selecting a different speaker. It should give you several options.
So Clayton, the problem is he can't hear us. So
Oh,
that's the issue.
I thought it was an, yeah, okay. Oh,
No,
well.
we're issuing all these instructions that he can't hear.
Huh.
I don't know. Is that any better?
It's
Yes,
early.
Yeah, we can hear you
now we can hear you. Can you hear us? Evidently not. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us
I can't hear anybody else though.
on the
So
phone?
I can be there in a few
Okay,
minutes. I think
that's
that's
fine.
the only
yeah,
Okay,
rational thing to do here. I don't know what's going on.
okay.
okay. See you in 10 minutes.
I'm gonna go log in from the conference room. All right, Jack is here with me. We couldn't get the conference room computer going either, so I don't feel totally alone in my inability to connect. Okay. All right, so it's slightly after 7:30. We'll call the meeting to order. Today's the 23rd of February. And I guess the first item is we have some minutes from the last meeting, I believe.
Yes, and I did have just one suggested change. Okay, yeah, on page 4, where we got to discuss moving 2021 net income to the stranded cost account. It says, Ms. Burrs noted that the board is not ready to discuss this item. I think what I said was, I am not ready to discuss this item. I didn't ever mean to speak for the board. So if it could just say, I'm not ready, I didn't think we were ready to vote on this item. That's the only change I would make.
Okay, we have a motion to accept these minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second. Any further discussion?
Oh,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. All right. All right, so Tom, you have a little
Yeah, I have a
discussion on Rex.
Ken Stampler with E&E gave me a call, and I'm gonna share my screen. Get this to work. So Ken sent me this presentation that he put together, clean energy standard expansion. So the crux to this is we have an opportunity to buy clean energy standard RECs as opposed to main class 2 RECs that we're buying now. The main class 2 RECs are basically for the fuel cells, tidal, solar, wind, thermal, hydro, biomass, municipal waste, in conjunction with recycling and service before September 1st of 2005. And you have to have the associated energy with those. The clean energy standard are more for nuclear and hydro. These, basically the same type of thing, vehicle, but these are trading for much less than the main class 2 RECs. And this just goes into eligibility criteria for generators.
All right, so what do you think is the appropriate thing to do, Tom?
So bottom line, these RECs are trading for much cheaper than the main class 2 RECs. So main class 2 RECs are trading for about $9 to $10 in that range. And we can get the clean energy standard equivalents for around $4.50. So there's a big advantage for the clean energy standard RECs.
How many do we need?
So we need 26,000 carbon-free RECs. So we need to buy roughly $110,000. So that's what we could save if we buy the clean energy standard RECs as opposed to the main class 2 RECs.
It accomplishes the same thing. Why wouldn't we go for the less expensive alternative?
It's my feeling, but you know, again, you know, these are the clean energy standards from nuclear and hydro, where the others come from a wide range of renewable power.
My impression was that the class 1 Rex we previously had was all hydro, all main hydro. But this is different main hydro?
These are, I guess some of them come from nuclear too, so the
Hmm.
result of, I would think a lot of them, or the majority probably come from nuclear. I can get
These,
clarification, yeah, the CES.
yeah. Where are we in the rec buying schedule? I mean, you told me how often
Yeah.
we do that. Where are we
We do that on
now?
a quarterly basis, and so this would probably be the last quarter of 2022. I believe the quarter ends in June.
The
So-
last fiscal year of
Yeah, so this would probably be
2022,
this would be the third quarter, I guess, that he's buying for
the one we're in right now.
right now. Yeah.
Okay. And so up until now, we just kind of been buying the same thing over and over again. Is that what?
We've been
that-
buying the class 2 Rex that are available.
Yeah, which I think, I mean, I'm not aware of them having changed what they're buying at all since we first made the decision
Yeah,
to go
no.
to class 2 Rex.
Yeah, that hasn't changed at all. It's just,
Okay.
this is an opportunity to buy, where the class 2s are now trading at between $9 and $10. CES,
So, okay, so I attempted to absorb this presentation that was sent out and you know, sort of failed based on the information available in it. Like, what is the clean energy standard? Who established it? Why does it exist? Why is it different from? Yeah, I don't understand it, and so I was sort of hoping that somebody from E&E would be here to get us more deeply into that. But I happy to pursue answers to my questions. I am, needless to say, in favor of buying the cheaper thing if it, you know, but I'm not in favor of buying something I don't understand. That's all. So I could, you know, call Ken myself and get answers to my questions, and we could address it again, if that makes sense.
I can have Ken get on at the next meeting and we can go through them.
Okay, if Jack would like to do that, or we could just, or I could just call him myself, whatever you like. Excuse me.
Well, if there's no time constraint on these,
Yeah, let me,
other than that it's a market,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the price may vary.
yeah, let me talk to Ken and see if it's time sensitive that we, you know, need to make the decision in a, you know, a short amount of time. And if that's the case, I can either put together another meeting and just have Ken come on and talk about what these do and how they're, you know, what they apply to.
Mhm.
And if they're not time sensitive, we can do it at the next meeting.
Okay, that sounds great.
If they are time sensitive, what do we do?
We'll just schedule a special meeting to
Yeah,
deal with it.
I'll schedule a special meeting.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right.
Juan has written up a nice piece for the annual report, I guess, for town, I guess for the town.
Town meeting, yeah.
And fine to me. You got any issues?
I had just a couple of suggestions, but I'm gonna have to open it. Oh, here we go. Just first of all, there is a typo in the third paragraph. It says the building at 31 Bear Cover Park. There's an extra R on there. But more substantively, if you go down to paragraph, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it says the lighting plant continues to support energy efficiency efforts at town-owned facilities. Our contributions do not end with paying for an audit report We helped with financing lighting retrofits, equipment changeovers, and improvements to heating and cooling equipment. Those efforts are expected to yield energy savings to the town in the range of tens of thousands of dollars. So this paragraph, I look back, this paragraph has appeared in our report unchanged for 10 years.
Yeah.
All of this stuff happened. It happened while I was on the select board, so I remember it. But basically nothing like this has happened since then. So I really don't think it belongs in our report anymore, frankly.
I will remove that.
But that's my only suggestion.
Okay. Happy to remove it.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait a second, gotta get back to the meeting. Where are you?
Okay.
There you are. Do you want to unshare, Tom?
That's what I'm trying to figure out how I do. Here it is.
Up at the top.
Yeah.
So the next item is the NYPA designated voting representative. You want to fill us in a little bit on that?
Yeah, so this is a form that that we fill out every year, and or we get it every year, and typically there's no changes, but since Paul has left, I was the alternate on this this voting, so it's the New York Power Authority. So it just gives me the ability to vote. Here's my copy of it.
I move that we appoint general manager to be the voting representative on the NYPA board.
And then Mark Fahey would be the
And the
second.
assistant general manager to be the alternate.
Second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I ask a question before we move off? This isn't on the topic of the voting representative, but the NYPA contract that we have, I've been puzzling over. We get hydro from this hydro energy, right, from this contract.
Yep.
But on our bill, it looks like they pay us to take it. Can you explain that?
There's a credit on the bill for the NIPA. I don't.
If not, we'll
yeah,
investigate.
I will investigate it.
Okay, because
I
I
do know
never
what it
really
is, but
understood.
I can't remember exactly how it works. So
Yeah,
I
I'd love
wanna
to
get that.
know. Yeah, okay. I'd love to know exactly how it works because as far as I can tell, the fact that this energy is either so cheap or for some reason they're paying us to take it, it lowers the overall, it lowers our the average cost of the renewable energy that we have in our portfolio. And so it seems strange. So I'd just like to understand it better, but we can do that another
Yeah.
time.
I'll do that. I'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting.
Thanks.
And Ken Stampler can probably give us a much better reasoning behind that.
Oh, good.
Okay, updates, battery storage. The battery has been performing. I don't have an updated performer for this month, but the month of January, we did hit the peak, and the battery we have had issues with the battery, but in the last, I would say at least month, it has been functioning as designed. There's been issues with air conditioning in the units, and the batteries falling, stacks of batteries coming offline because of that. So they seem to have resolved that for the time being anyway.
Any idea what kind of benefit we get out of it? What's the best monthly benefit we've seen?
Well, I think that if the biggest benefit it'll be if we hit the transmission peak for the year,
Yeah.
and which we missed in June of this year because the battery didn't come online until July. So,
Yep.
When we looked at it at the end of the year, we had netted about $2,500 on the battery for the year. So.
Is that anywhere near in line with what you were hoping?
I think it's a little less than we were hoping.
I was sort of
We
assuming
weren't
that.
expecting to make, we weren't expecting to make a huge money on it, but again, I think if we had hit the transmission peak, it would be a much different story.
Mhm. So so the savings you're telling us about include the, it's really just refers to our peak shaving, right? We don't get
So-
any benefit from the frequency regulation. That benefits the owner, right?
We split that,
But we split it. So that would include what we're making on that.
correct, yeah.
Okay.
And they didn't start that process, the peak, regulation, they didn't start in the regulation market until December, so that
Oh.
would have been more, more revenue or more cost savings that we would have seen, so
Okay, so we'll have a better idea
Yeah.
about this in July or
Yeah.
August.
this year will give us a better idea of how it's gonna function.
Well, it should save a couple $100,000. It's a $2 million
It's $2 million battery.
battery.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't save 200,000 a year, it's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
The transmission line, so we presented to the select board, last week. We have a meeting with the advisory committee next week. I believe it's March 1st, 8 p.m. We'll have the team on to do that presentation on the 1st. The board seemed to be supportive of the project. They were willing to support the transfer of land at the transfer station. And we have a memorandum of agreement on that land that they will be signing, and I'll be asking the board to sign once I get that copy back. from the
I
board.
thought the presentation was excellent and I thought it was very well received. It was just what we need to show the town that we have a grip on all the aspects of this. So I congratulate the team.
Thank you. The landfill, nothing new on the landfill. They're still projecting to start that this summer. EV charges, we've talked about how we were awarded the level 2 charges at 3 locations. Since then, we've got word that we've received grants for the level 3 charges at 2 locations, which will be the Station Street parking lot and Lynchfield. We've been working with the town on the level 2 charger locations. Brianna has filled out the paperwork for the licenses for the charges at those 3 locations. I believe we are on the Board of Selectmen agenda for March 1st, last I heard, for the car charges. And that's for the level 2 charges. So we are working with the planning department also on those. 2 of the Country Club and Carlson Field will require zoning, I guess it's zoning exemptions or, something from the planning board. I forget what it is, but we're applying for that because they're going to be losing basically a spot. So it triggers a review by the planning board. So we'll be going to the planning board for those also.
So it's a site plan review.
It's a site plan
Yeah.
review type of thing.
For all 3 locations, excuse me. or
Just 2, it doesn't require it at Mill Street, at the Station Street parking lot, just the other 2 locations.
Mhm.
Because we'll be where one of the spots has to be handicap accessible, they'll be losing a spot at both locations.
They'll be losing a handicap accessible spot.
No, we'll be, so the charges in will require 3 spots, even though there's only 2, 2 ports on the charges. And that's because one of the spots
Oh, I see.
handicap accessible.
I see. Okay.
So that's what triggers the planning review.
Okay. I got an email from Police Chief Jones, who is very interested in pursuing electric vehicles for the force. And there are going to be there are going to be charging stations built into the new public safety facility building that's being designed right now. So they'll be ready for that. If there are appropriate vehicles, he would be interested in purchasing some. I don't think they were to buy any this year, but I think there are maybe 3 cruisers on the capital plan for next year. And if there was, an appropriate vehicle, he would be interested in doing that. But of course, then he has the question of where's he going to charge it at town hall before the public safety facility building is built. And this is a solvable question because presumably we'd like to have more chargers at town hall, but we would need to put the police chargers in a place where ultimately they would be useful to the public when the police department moves out of town hall. So that is an interesting question. And I know that the entity that we got our grant from also has a grant for government entities that want to put charging stations in for their employees. And if I remember rightly, they pay 100% of that. So I think that there's a grant opportunity to pursue this if we could figure out where to put the chargers at town hall. And I think that we put Brianna in touch with the police chief around that. And if it's appropriate, maybe she could work on that with him.
Yeah, so when we started this process for the level 2 charges, we had chosen town hall as one of the locations and looked at a spot in the parking lot, but the town didn't want to go forward with that because of parking is so tight up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we could talk with Chief Jones and Tom Mayo to see if we can carve out a location.
Okay.
But
One obvious possibility is the police currently park around the back of the building. And what's also around the back of the building are the playing fields back there. And a good place for chargers is a place where travel teams draw, people come from far away to bring their kids to travel team events. And possibly you could put chargers back there, which would not interfere with the parking for town hall, but would make it available in the future for parents bringing their kids to those fields from far away, like at Carlson Field. So that's a possible location.
So that's not directly behind the town hall, that's
The parking is, it's not really a parking lot. It's grass.
yeah.
So it'd be a little odd putting a charging station there, but not impossible. But that wouldn't be too far away from the police station, I think, for them to charge their chargers for the next few years while they're still at town hall, that you can make that compromise. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah, we'll work with Chief Jones and Tom Mayo to find a location there, see if we can find something up there.
Great.
Yep.
I'll send along the link to the grant program that I had the impression was going to give towns 100% of the cost for.
Well, I think that's
their
similar to
employees.
the one that we used.
It is. It's a different branch of the same funding program, and it's intended for employers, including governments, and specifically mentioned. So.
Because the grant that we applied for, as long as it's on town-owned property, it's 100% of the up to $50,000, I think, is the
Okay.
cap. But we should be able to put one in for $50,000.
Mhm. Okay.
The Choice Connect system is up and running. We still have a couple of locations that are not ideal for cell phone connection, but we're still working on that. Jeff Jones is working on that for us. Municipal solar.
Okay, still working on that. We'll have a report at some point.
Okay. The website is up and running. don't know if everyone's had a chance to get on and see it. I think it's much improved from what we had. Still working out a couple little bugs, but so far the response that we've got internally has been well received. So
I went through some of it before it was up and running, so I don't know if the things that I ran into were related to the fact that it wasn't online yet. I did find some bugs, but I figured you'd find them too. I didn't want to get in the middle of that. I do have some suggestions, ideas, questions, and I don't know if it's too late for that. I don't know.
so I'll have Brianna reach out to you,
Okay, yeah,
the lead for the herself. And Stan. So
Yeah.
I'll reach out to you and get your feedback and see.
great. That'd be great. I'd love to do that.
HMLP solar. So we had our bid openings for the designer at the for the canopies and the additional solar on the roof here. We have 2 respondents to that RFP, and we're going to be going through those responses and qualifying those vendors, and we'll pick one of those to start the design of the system here at HMLP, the solar system, additional solar system, I guess.
How many responses did we get?
We only got 2 responses, designer responses.
People are busy.
The 2 of them seem to be pretty qualified, though, from a first glance. So
Were there any that we'd worked with here in town before?
that I'm not sure of. I don't believe so.
Just curious.
Steve, what were the?
So one of the companies actually does a lot of commercial residential solar. They've done quite a bit of residential in Hingham. I don't know if I can say their name, but
Yeah.
and another company that bid it actually worked on Amazon in Hingham. So
By worked on Amazon, you mean?
so they did all the site plans for the Amazon building down in 100 Industrial Park Road.
Which, as I understand, is not going to have solar panels on it.
You're correct.
That's what they told the planning board.
Yep.
Didn't bother to build the building so it could have solar panels on it.
Well, I think the building was built, right? That's an existing building, right?
I think
Right.
they're- Well, but aren't they expanding it?
No, they actually shrunk the
Oh, they shrunk it.
footprint down.
Okay.
And they're only leasing it for 20 years.
Well, who cares, right?
But that's an engineering firm that does that type of work. So, they obviously do more than just solar installations. They do all types of engineering.
I see. Okay.
And that was all I have. I don't have any financials. Pam Fredette, the accountant here, she broke her FEMA skiing a few weeks ago. Right, three weeks ago now. Some of the information we needed for the financials was at her home. She was in New Hampshire, so we were delayed in getting our financials together for the month of January. So Joan has got that information, or is getting it today, I think, and we'll be working on getting the financials together going forward.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she's doing much better. She's home. She's not. She said she doesn't have any pain, but she did have surgery, and they have I guess a rod or something in her leg, so she'll be out for a little bit. But she's looking to help out and do some things from home, so that'll be great.
Okay, anything else?
No, the next item is to go into executive session. We have the contract coming up at the end of June for Local 369. So we just want to talk about that, those negotiations.
Okay, can we have a motion then for an executive session?
I move that we go into executive session to discuss local 369 contract negotiations, strategy with respect to collective bargaining, so as not to have a detrimental effect on it, and not to return to public session afterwards.
Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye,
Aye. All right.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Brenda, nice to see you.
Uh,
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I wasn't sure she was paying attention. Can I ask you to turn off the recording?
Recording, yeah.